Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. It's a common issue across much of the state, flooding and the damage it brings.
Landowners in Calhoun, Grenada, and Yalobusha counties say water continues to ruin their property. Our Victoria Bailey attended a public forum today. She joins us in the studio with some of the concerns she heard today. Victoria.
Joey, Andrea, over the past few weeks, many people in our country have experienced torrential rainfall. Now, folks in this area are also no stranger to high waters. Local farmers and landowners are growing concerned about growing their crops once the waters start to rise.
What are you going to do? You know, you can't go out there and farm in a boat.
That's the general consensus of the landowners in Calhoun, Yalobusha, and Grenada counties. They live near Grenada Lake and Schooner River, along with other small creeks.
We're having trouble with the river being stopped up, and that's why they've all come together trying to get some relief from our U.S. congressmen and senators to help provide funding to help get this took care of, because it affects the county, it affects the city, the lagoons, it affects residents that gets in their houses.
U.S. Corps of Engineers Vicksburg District Senior Project Manager Kent Parrish says a lot of work has been done in the area several years ago. The Corps hopes to pick up where they left off soon.
We have an authorization already to work up here, so basically all we need now is funding to get back and look at this area. Now, we looked at it, started back in the late 90s, and we did a lot of work till the mid-2000s. We need to go back in and survey and see how those measures are doing, what they need to be rehabbed, and then we need to do more stabilization in the other areas up here in the county.
Yalobusha Drainage District President Kit Bryant says he's tired of the Corps of Engineers' same old song and dance.
Instead of addressing the problem of fixing it, it's a whole lot easier for them to go to the farm and say, we're going to condemn your property and give you so much an acre and this property that's been in their families. So do you want to just give your land away, your livelihood, take what money they give you, and move on? Nobody wants to do that.
Calhoun County Board of Supervisors President Barney Wade says the county leaders are ready to continue the conversation on the next level.
What it's going to take is people writing their congressmen and talking to them, and the people that were here today, they'll go back and tell their bosses, the senators and congressmen, you know, that the public is concerned.
Now, this is the first in a series of meetings the Calhoun Board of Directors hopes to have. Joey?
Lowndes County Emergency Management and area first responders were preparing for a different type of weather disaster today. This year's multi-agency disaster drill was designed to demonstrate the county's ability to respond to a tornado incident with mass casualties. It also provides the next best thing to real-life experience for area nursing students. The primary goal of the exercise is to make sure all agencies know how to work together.
It's important because coordination. We want to make sure that all of our agencies are coordinated, and we know each agency, we know the resources that are available here in Lowndes County. If there is a tornado that actually touches down Lowndes County, we'll have the assistance that we need right here in Lowndes County.
State and volunteer agencies, healthcare facilities, Columbus Air Force Base, and MUW were all part of today's exercise.
A Columbus family of 5 is homeless tonight after flames destroy their house. It took about 20 minutes to get the blaze under control on 4th Avenue North. It happened just after 2:30 this afternoon. A mother says she woke up from a nap to find the fire as she walked to the carport and quickly went back inside to grab her 2-year-old. They escaped out the front door. The exact cause of the fire remains under investigation. Firemen on 6 Columbus fire and rescue trucks put out the flames. The Red Cross is assisting the homeowners who we are told did not have insurance. Time for a first look at our forecast. We'll turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
A mix of sunny clouds across our region right now. Live view from Vernon, Alabama at Durham's Pharmacy. Temperatures right now ranging from the upper 80s to the low 90s. It is a warm, late summer day. As warm as 94 in some spots still at this hour, other spots cooling down into the upper 80s. We popped a few isolated showers here in Fayette County, just east of Sullivan and Vernon. That was the exception to the general rule, and it looks like as we go throughout the course of tonight, clear and quiet conditions will rule. Lows down into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees, much like last night, and tomorrow will be just like today, sunny and hot. More details in just a few minutes.
New at 6 tonight, an Oxford man is accused of inappropriately touching a child. 35-year-old Michael Clayton is charged with touching of a minor for lustful purposes. At the end of August, investigators were called to Baptist Memorial Hospital for a reported sexual assault of a juvenile. After getting forensic evidence back, police charged Clayton today. He's already in the Lafayette County Detention Center on an unrelated charge. His bond is set at $5,000.
Winston County deputies have identified the man accused of stealing some equipment. Thanks to your help, now investigators are searching for Mark Townsend. Sheriff Jason Tues says Townsend stole a trailer and other items about a week ago. One theft was reported on Beth Eden Road in Winston County and the other in the Four Corners community of Atala County. It's believed Townsend is from the Philadelphia area. If you have any information, call Winston County Crime Stoppers.
More than a dozen angry phone calls, an Aberdeen man is facing charges. Willie Earl Moore was arrested and charged with one count of abusive calls to emergency telephone service. According to Sheriff Cecil Cantrell, Moore made more than 40 vulgar phone calls to dispatchers over several days. His bond was set at $500. Moore is in the Monroe County Detention Center.
Alabama's prison system faces a hearing on how it provides mental health services to inmates. Last year, U.S. District Judge Myron Thompson ruled that mental health care in Alabama prisons was, quote, horrendously inadequate and violated the Eighth Amendment's prohibition on cruel and unusual punishment. In February, 3 separate deadlines were set for the prisons to increase mental health staff, that is. After not meeting the requirements, a hearing was set up to discuss if prisons should be held in contempt of court. Lawyers for the state say the new prison health care contractor, Wexford Health Sources Incorporated, has worked long to meet the goals and made a lot of progress.
Well, the past few weeks have been busy for local governments. They've been hammering out spending plans for the coming year.
Our Riley Livingston talks to city and county leaders to learn more about the process. She joins us in the studio with more. Riley?
Thanks, Joey and Andrea. Saturday was the deadline for county and municipal budgets. And while there's a flurry of activity in the first couple weeks of September, the real work has been going on for months.
Many people don't give much thought to city and county budgets until they come up for a vote and approval. But getting the annual spending plan to that stage takes months of prep work and involves several people working together to get the most bang for the buck.
I meet with every department head and I say, okay, what's your wish list? And what's your wants, what's your wish list, and we go from there. That's their wish list. I'm not going to say they're going to get it, but that's their wish list.
Besides just the bottom line, there are other things that have to be taken into consideration.
It's police, fire, the public safety factor, providing a better quality of life, parks and recreation. We do the best we can with our infrastructure needs, providing what is expected of the citizens of Louisville.
Boards have to work closely with those who will be spending the money to make sure their priorities line up.
The key is to have those heads that are department heads to make sure that they watch it all throughout the year. And once you do that, it makes your budgeting a little more simple. A little easier. We have a very conservative board group, and we just don't overspend.
Sometimes cities look outside of their area to see what's working for others.
The towns, the cities across the state of Mississippi, how do they make things happen? What we did as a model of what was done in certain cities across the state many years ago, we can't go back and do that years ago. We can start it now so that we're setting the city up for prosperity in the future.
Budgets also help individual departments stay on track.
Well, it's important because you don't know where you're going if you don't have a budget to stay in budget. I mean, it's like in your personal life. You know, you have to have a budget or you'll just be spending on the wrong things, the wrong items, and not have enough money for the right things and the right items.
The 2018-2019 budgets will go into effect October 1st.
Some area students are wearing their feelings about abuse on their sleeves.
We find out how they're laying it all out on the line when we come back.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. Creative t-shirt designs are raising awareness about violence and helping those affected heal from their experiences. Mississippi State University is hosting its annual Clothesline project this week. Students, faculty, and staff are creating designs on t-shirts and then displaying them on the drill field as a way to honor a friend or loved one affected by violence. The t-shirt colors represent different types of violent acts like sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse.
Just to have someone to share their common experience with, or even just to know that it's other people, and to see them speak out about it can be very, very rewarding. But also, in the eyes of prevention, it allows other people to see the true burden of violence, and hopefully will not become perpetrators of violence.
The Clothesline project will be on display on the drill field tomorrow and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Local bikers are showing off their rides for bragging rights and to help kids in need. The Dream Riders Chapter C hosted its annual Biking for Children fundraiser today at Godfather's Pizza in Amory. The event helps the Motorcycle Club raise money to donate school supplies and toys to children in the area.
We sponsored 45 children for Christmas last year. We're trying to beat that this year. We would like to do 50. I'd like to do 150, but you know, that's just all depends on the community.
20% of the profits from Godfather's Pizza today go toward the fundraiser.
Downtown Louisville, Mississippi right now, the sun getting lower and lower on the western horizon here. A great evening to be had. Hot for the next couple of days, but rain chances are coming on back. Join me for the full forecast next after the break.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Lots of river flooding over here in the Carolinas. We will zoom on in on all of these river flood gauges here that are orange, red, and purple. That's the flooding there in North Carolina and parts of South Carolina. And we come in and inspect a little bit closer. You can see all of that flood water now coming down to the ocean. See that little black, brown blotch right there, and also up here northeast of Wilmington. That is all that flood water rushing on down. It's got to go somewhere. The path of least resistance will take it to the ocean, and that flooding will continue for days, maybe weeks here before things are all said and done with that. Now, for us, we'd love to see some rain around here because I know your backyard, my flower beds, they want to see some rain. Nil tomorrow and Thursday. Can't rule out a stray shower like today, but better rain chances Friday, Saturday, Sunday into early next week with a front that will come on in, stall out, and at least give us an opportunity for some rain. This is the enhanced satellite. Notice how we have a lack of cloud cover out there. We had some of those friendly clouds earlier today, even a few isolated showers across parts of Alabama and down closer to the coast and back to our west, everywhere but here it seems like. But there is a front back to the northwest that will come on in here and give us an opportunity for some rain. For the next 2 days, we have this big dome of heat, and that means more mid-90s Wednesday, Thursday, about 10 degrees above the average, which is about 85 or 86 degrees. And we are still above the average right now. It's currently 89 in Columbus, 92 in Tupelo, 92 in Tupelo here at 6 o'clock on the 18th day of September. Incredible warmth. 92 in Meridian and 92 in Montgomery, Alabama. Down to around 70 tonight. A few degrees either way of 70. The wind is going to go calm in all spots. A lot of stars twinkling overhead. And if you saw this planner yesterday, you are seeing it again. You will likely see it again tomorrow, too. Around 70, tons of sun at 7 o'clock, 91 at noon, 94 at 4 o'clock, mid to upper 80s by early evening. Here's our city-by-city forecast. Maybe a shot at 95 in Tupelo tomorrow, 94 in Bruce. In general, about 94 degrees, but let's just say anywhere between about 93, 95, maybe 96 degrees around here. Could it be a little bit warmer? It's possible. Some spots down here in the deep south today, we're flirting with the century mark. The air relatively dry. The heat index will still be around 100 tomorrow, but notice how we are expecting incredible warmth across all of the Magnolia State, all of Alabama too, for our Wednesday. Here's Futurecast. As we put this into motion, you will see an opportunity for some scattered showers and storms to our south tomorrow and back to our north and northwest. Can't rule out a stray shower. Same story Thursday, but better odds of the rain will be coming on in here with that front that will ease its way into the region, then stall out starting Friday. That will stick with us for this weekend into next week. Now, we'll see some opportunities for some scattered showers and storms and also some cooler temperatures. No mid-90s here for this weekend. We're back into the mid to upper 80s.
All right, Tom Ebel says he needs to make game plans for next year, so we've got him covered. The SEC releases the 2019 football schedule. Find out the big games next in sports.
Blah blah sports 1 2 3 4 5 6.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Week 4 of the 2018 college football season, and of course it's not too early to already start talking about 2019. The SEC announcing the full schedules for each team next year. Mississippi State, big games for them, opening the season in New Orleans, taking on Louisiana. We just saw Mississippi State give the Raging Cajuns a beat down this past weekend, but hey, they'll be in New Orleans to start the season on August 31st next year. And then big SEC games, Auburn at Auburn on the 28th of September, November 16th, home against Alabama, and November 28th, of course, the day of Thanksgiving against Ole Miss. Also, Mississippi State playing Southern Miss on September 9th. Ole Miss at Memphis to open up the season, bringing back that little rivalry crossover. At Alabama on September 28th. That's week 5 of the 2019 season, a little bit later than we've seen Ole Miss taking on the Crimson Tide. At home against LSU on November 16th, and then the Egg Bowl, of course, on the 28th. Then to Alabama, open the season in Atlanta against Duke. All right, September 28th, at home against Ole Miss. And then November 16th at Mississippi State and the Iron Bowl on November 30th. Southern Miss will also be traveling to Tuscaloosa on September 21st. You can see the full schedules on our website, WCBI.com. Another week where the game of the week is up to you. After a day of voting, plenty have already began to make their choices and voices be heard. The candidates, a battle of undefeateds, Winona at Water Valley, two of the top teams in 5A North, Lafayette taking on the West Point Green Wave, or the Schooner River rivalry between Bruce and Calhoun City. All fantastic games for week 6, but only one can be the game of the week. And that last check, Winona and Water Valley has been rolling these polls. Again, we're going to combine the Twitter poll and the website poll, and here's where you can vote. Go to our Twitter at WCBI Endzone. It's the pinned tweet. Go let us know, or on Facebook, you can go to WCBI Endzone and click the link. That'll take you to our website at www.wcbi.com. Go to the sports tab. If you go straight to the website, there'll be a game of the week tab there as well. That'll take you straight to the polls. So you've got little less than 24 hours now. The poll ends at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll announce the winner coming up at 6 here on WCBI Sports at 6 p.m. Time to honor those who do the dirty work on the power lines and in the trenches. It's our Lineman of the Week.
Tonight's Lineman of the Week is brought to you by Northeast Mississippi's Electric Power Association.
Tonight's Lafayette Lineman of the Week is Jason Caruthers. Jason has 10 years of service with Northeast Mississippi's Electric Power Association. WCBI's Lineman of the Week from week 5 goes to the Oxford Chargers. 31-12 win over an priorly undefeated Pontotoc Warriors team, them Grapes. 7 tackles for a loss and 1 sack. It's tough to do against a very good Pontotoc offense. They also racked up 3 rushing touchdowns. Jeremiah Pegues, the owner of all 3 of those. Hey, Oxford riding a 3-game winning streak heading into week 6. They're on the road at South Haven for week 6. Mississippi AP polls released. Starkville at number 1. Tupelo falls out at number 10. We'll go over the full polls coming up at 10 tonight right here on WCBI Sports. Or go to our website for the full poll. We'll have the last few forecasts next.
All right, let's go get some ice cream tomorrow. Maybe
Hey, why not?
an iced pumpkin spice latte because it's so hot.
Well, too bad
It
we don't
is.
have the cake that you made the other day.
we were just talking about this cake I made on Sunday, a complete disaster.
And you threw it away.
Oh, it was awful.
You
but
don't throw cake away in my world.
No, I do have a pumpkin pie left.
Okay.
Oh, there you
for
go.
the
There's
season.
something, right?
There you go.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us.